Well, this story is really the story of how I went from being a single mom with 3 kids and no employment opportunity because I didn't have a college degree to being the CEO of a multi-million-dollar e-commerce business, accounting firm within about 10 years. It all came down to this principle of surrender. I was 26 years old when I found myself very unexpectedly a single mom. Okay, I was actually living my best life. I had 3 little kids. They were 5, 3, and 9 months old. And then suddenly, out of nowhere, I found out that my husband was having a relationship with someone at work. And literally, he went from married to me to married to her within like 3 months. So that's how fast my life went down, right? Down in a very major way. The first thought I had was that I probably needed to go back to school because I didn't have an education to fall back on, and I didn't really want to be destitute, right? So I ended up deciding to go back to school. I started at UPU, and I started in the marketing department. And I had a professor who was really, really great, and I was in an accounting class because it was a prereq for marketing. And my accounting professor said to me, you know, accounting is actually a really great path to take if you are looking for something that's flexible. He knew that I had 3 kids. And he was like, by the way, it also pays better than marketing. By the way, there's also more job opportunity. By the way, it's also more flexible. By the way, it's like a better career path in every way, right? So I made the decision to switch over to accounting. I could get an accounting degree from UVU, right? But I started to get this little wiggly feeling. You guys know what I'm talking about? That little feeling that starts to say, you know, you should really consider making that move to BYU. I know that God would basically increase my capacity so that I could come home from school and I could be an engaged mom until 7 o'clock or 8 o'clock at night, and then I could put kids to bed, and then I could work like a demon until 2 o'clock in the morning, and then I could wake up again and do it over and over, and that it would actually be fun and fulfilling, and that I would be sustained through that experience. I did not know that, right? I should have known that, but I did not know that. So as I moved over to BYU, and all of this worked out, and guys, it was the best career decision I ever made. Now that's not a plug for the BYU accounting program, kind of is though, right? Because basically what happened was, it transformed my life. Like I went from being broken, discarded, heartbroken, really had my confidence destroyed, to being in a world-class program with world-class professors, amongst world-class peers, and being recruited by world-class companies. I came out of BYU one of the most highly recruited students. I had offers from all 4 Big Four plus 2 local firms. So I was very, very highly recruited. Guys, that changed my life, okay? Absolutely changed my life. The other thing is that I then took a job with Squire, which I believe is a great company to work for. But I ended up working on their advisory team. So I worked in their QuickBooks team, and honestly, like my career was a little slow. Like I had taken that job and I was like, you know, going to work part-time, and they were being super flexible. We were all kind of trying to figure out what that looked like. But really what it kind of turned into is that I really just didn't have much work to do. And I really wasn't progressing career-wise because I got married, by the way, as I graduated, married a really great guy. And we had another child. So I had like a new baby, and I was trying to figure out how to have a career too, and Squire was kind of trying to figure out how to like work with me on this, and we hadn't really figured it out, right? And then one of my clients, who was one of my QuickBooks clients who I was doing consulting with, her business like blew up. She went from like nothing to multi-million-dollar kind of overnight, and she needed a CFO. And when they were talking to her, she's like, okay, but I want Brittney. A year later, I launched my accounting firm. So what this means is that from the time I graduated from school to the time that I decided to launch an accounting firm, I had the accumulation over 3 years of 2,000 hours, which is basically 1 year of full-time working. I basically got just enough hours to have my CPA before I started my own firm. What that means is that I was wildly unqualified. Do you guys understand that? Wildly unqualified to start my own firm. I barely knew how to be an accountant, remember? And so, what it would look like, it would look something like this. I have no idea what to do. I have no idea the next steps to take, but I will do whatever you tell me to do today. That's all you got from me. I'll do whatever you tell me to do today. And then I would just respond to whatever I felt prompted to do. And little by little by little, we became a very, very valid business. We crossed over $1 million in trailing 12, 3.5 years into owning accounting firm. Do you have any idea the growth rate that represents? That is insane. Now, to be clear, it was not me because I had no idea what to do. But I can tell you this principle of surrender was 100% why we got to where we got to.